In last week's episode, we finally installed our ceiling. This is usually one of the first things you would do in a van build, but it's kind of one of the last things we've done. We wanted to wait until we knew exactly how we wanted to do it, and we're really happy with the outcome.
2 more lights to wire, so let's wire those now. Final lights are installed.
In this week's episode, we're going to install all of the trim for our upper cabinets, as well as all of the cupboard doors, latches, hinges, everything. So we hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to follow along our van build journey.
So I just spent some time in here kind of figuring out exactly how we're going to trim out these cabinets here. It seems relatively simple, and it is. Really, in my mind, the most important measurement is going to be this top one here. Reason being is that we have these hinges here. So I made this little jig. It's essentially just one of the cabinet latches we're going to use, and 2 pieces of plywood. And essentially this is like the top of the cabinet, and this is the cabinet door. So when you open the cabinet door, it stays open on its own. This is something we really wanted. We actually purchased gas struts that would hold the cabinet door open. We didn't know that these hinges kind of existed, and those struts were very long wait times to our shipping, so we just ordered them a while ago. But these hinges are pretty cool. So by building the jig, we figured out that we need to basically space the hinge 1 inch away from the top of our cabinet to allow the cabinet door to open fully. That's just with the height of our ceiling compared to our cabinet. It's kind of what it figured out to be. So here you can see there's a 1/2 inch piece of plywood there. If I just add another 1/2 inch piece, that would make the hinge be 1 inch. So if I put that up and pretend that this is fastened to the ceiling, we would open our cabinet, and that's going to be essentially our cabinet face. Now this piece here is not the length of our cabinet faces, so you'll see it gets kind of close to the lights. But at the end of the day, where my finger is essentially going to be the end of the cabinet. So our lights will always be exposed even when the cabinet doors are open. It's just one of the little things you got to think of while you're kind of planning out where your lights are going to go in your ceiling. Is, are your cabinet faces going to just completely block one of your lights when they're open? We really didn't want that. So basically, by building this jig, we figured out exactly the size of our cabinet frames. So yeah, I'm going to go get the saws, get everything set out outside, and get this stuff going. So let's get to it. We've got everything we need to cut. So far we only have cut the pine that we're going to need for these cabinets. This is essentially how much pine we're going to be putting on these. So I think at the moment we're going to go and we're going to stain it to match the ceiling. We kind of hope it looks good. I think it should. I don't see why it won't look good. And that would kind of mean that we have pine on the ceiling that matches the window boxes, that matches the cabinet trim, and then matches the floor, countertop. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm honestly really excited to see how this build's going to kind of finish out now that we're in the final stages of it. I say we're in the final stages. There's a lot to be done. We fit a lot of stuff in this little van, so pretty proud of ourselves. But anyway, let's get upstairs and stain this pine, and hopefully we can get it nailed to the side of this cabinet rather soon. So let's go upstairs.
What are we doing?
Well, we are
Test fitting our last
two cuts away from being done.
So these aren't nailed in yet. All these little vertical ones. But we've cut them all out and test fit them, so we can just go along and glue and nail them on. We have 2 left. Do we have the right fit?
I don't know which one's which.
They're all just a little tiny bit different than one another. Just a hair.
That one seems to fit there.
Yep.
Fingers
The
crossed.
final piece.
Give me a second. I actually think this will fit if I just get it in there at the right angle.
Yay! Final piece.
Oh, this looks really good. This has been so much work.
Now.
Is it happening?
Okay, gluing and nailing, go. We finished the cabinet frames. So they're glued and nailed on. We did all these little vertical ones. So it is complete, which is super exciting. Some of them will have to just stain the ends of the wood because we didn't do that. So there's like little fixes that have to get made. But overall, we are very happy with how it looks, and we're glad that we stained it to match the ceiling and didn't paint it white because our cupboard faces are probably going to be white. So, looks really good.
So, Bex, what is our plan today?
We're gonna cut, actually we already have these ones cut. So we're cutting our cabinet faces. We have these 3 cut already. One of them's test mounted. It took us a while to figure out how to do it. But we figured out one. And we're pretty happy with it. It's not done yet, obviously we still have to paint it and do whatever. But we know how the hardware works. And we tested our slam latch, so can't open it all in one, which is really nice. So we have these 2 cut already, and one of these big cabinet doors cut. So we need to cut 3 more. Then we're gonna sand and paint them, and then potentially mount them. It takes a while because you can adjust these hinges and to have them line up right. So we're gonna try to get that done, but we'll keep you updated.
So the reason it took us just so long is because, as you can see, there is a block in behind here. But basically, we had to build like an extension so that this latch had a little extra to bite onto, really. And then we also just had to add these down in here. But you know what? It's all really nice and sturdy. And these are called slam latches.
So if you pull the little handle, it opens. They're usually used in like boats and stuff.
And you just let it go. Oh. There's still some adjustment. But basically that's it. It kind of slams itself closed. As you can see, the cabinet is nice and tightly closed. No way to open that. So it doesn't really matter how bumpy the road is that we go down or what falls over inside our cabinets. When we get to camp every night, I'm sure that there's going to be lots of things upside down and backwards inside basically every cabinet in here. But every single cupboard and every single door that we have as far as kitchen appliance goes and upper cabinets, we're putting the exact same slam latches on them all. They're really nice latches though, and with how narrow this walkway is going to be, I think having like no big handles to smack your knees on or whatever else, I think that's going to be like a really nice bonus. You can see just how flush these do mount. So anyway, let's get the table saw set up, and Becky and I are going to cut some more cabinet faces. So let's get the tools out. Alright, so here we are. Got the drill bit. All of our slam latches require a 2-inch hole saw hole. 2-inch hole saw bit. So we're going to drill all the holes for those in all of our cabinet faces, and then we are going to paint them, sand and paint them. So we're going to drill all these. All the cabinets should look the same. So let's get drilling. Alright guys, so and now we've also got the little retaining latch installed there as well. So each one of these, just kind of push it down and you can't pull that open. So same thing with this one. Everything's done. You can see, you probably can't see actually, but if you just look at the cupboard face, it's currently still open. And now it is latched. Lot of cabinets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cabinets with doors.